Yo, it's Guido coming at you with a Tactics Talk, and today we got an ace tanker in the TNH 105/1000 on Ruhenberg-Dorf. Spawned into the North spawn. It's an encounter battle. I'm top tier, which is a great setup. I do have a T832 and a Skoda T56 as well as an IS3 to deal with, and really between the 832 and the Skoda T56 could get a little bit scary on this corner. However, we have this high spot here, which is extremely powerful depending on how and what tank goes there and how they play it. You can really punish guys who want to tuck up against this rubble. It's very difficult for this spawn to get around the corner and get up into their face without getting shredded. It's a much more exposed spot over here than, say, if they push forward. But either one is quite exposed. Unfortunately for us, well, fortunately and unfortunately, we have to use this high spot here to punish them if they push up. There's more options if I'm going to go right around that corner and try to get up in their face, because they can come around the corner of the church. They can go out this little opening right here and almost completely be protected from any counterattack other than the one guy that's up here. So really from our spawn, the best bet is to go to this rubble pile and fight and see what's going on. And often the other side will push across and get up into our faces. Again, we need to have somebody up there doing some good work, or potentially just kind of outplay them on this corner. So these guys are going to push across, and that is fairly typical. I like the speed of this tank. It's pretty good. Look how far ahead I am from the rest of the heavies right there. I don't know. I don't think I have the turbo set up on this one. I do have one option with a turbo on this one, but I don't think I'm running it right here. Still, even with its standard speed, it's fast enough to get up here. So poking around that corner, you will often surprise them, because if they're not expecting that, they'll be doing exactly what that T29 was doing, looking down the road for free shots on the green team, on my team, who might be trying to get into that little nook that you see me play quite a bit right there. So I like surprising them once on that, and then we'll get into the reload. I had another video with this tank probably a day or two ago. If not, you'll see it soon on proc. We're going to sneak another one, and unfortunately we don't get the damage on that one. And I talked a lot about the cyclical or the auto-loading gun. This has a two-shot auto-loader. I use the single-shot gun. Weird thing about it is you can't use a rammer with it, and that is really a big old bummer. So there's no option to use a rammer on the cyclical, probably because it has both a autoloader and a cyclical, although I don't know if there's any other tanks that do that. So I don't know if that's an oversight or on purpose or whatever the case may be, but it is a major bummer. We'll sneak a shot into the side of the T56, and then we'll back out of this thing. All right, so the T56 finally moves up. Looks like they had some shots, and they actually cleared out, unfortunately, our two light tanks that went into that little nook right down here where you can see the M4A3E2 is, and now they're pushing up. These are decently hold-down tanks. The T29, really known for that. The IS3 is going to sit back behind the rubble pile, and the Skoda T56, I really just don't want to get the double shot out of that guy if I can avoid that. That would be a big mess. Now, we do have a rogues gallery hanging out up top here on the little perch, so we're going to have to try to handle this Skoda T56. The M2 is helping me out, the M2i, but he's really too far out on the right in echelon. It would be much nicer if he was a little closer in there so he could not be as exposed. So let's see how we handle this engagement. I'm going to come in here, and we're going to sneak a shot on the T29, and then he gets double tapped. So he goes down. The Caliban puts a big old honking bit of damage on him. Now, while we're poking and dealing with this Skoda, I'll show you how I deal with him, because it's kind of a big weakness on the Skoda when you're close in, is you need to watch for guys coming around the corner over here on this rubble pile, or outside of the little entrance right here on that rubble pile. In addition to that, anyone who might want to try to hide in the bushes here by the church. Got to watch out for all those three options that they have. Now, they don't have too much over there. Maybe the CS52, he's been hanging out over here. He could pop out and shoot me. But other than that, they didn't send anyone here. So that really gives me options for coming around this corner. And they really needed somebody on that corner to stop me from doing these things. Now, this Skoda, I don't know what he's thinking. He must think he is invulnerable right there where he's hiding. Also, he's kind of looking at some guys over on the right side. That's actually another great thing for our position right here, that we do have the Renegade and the Tiger P up on the right side, because now they can come out and punish anybody out in the open right here. So as this one is currently set up, we have a huge advantage in terms of our positioning, although we are down a few tanks right here. And primarily it's because they don't have anyone over here on this corner to keep the Tiger P and the Renegade honest. So if there was someone over here, then those guys don't get to just pop around the corner and punish the purples in the middle, and then allow multiple of us from slightly different angles to come out and keep taking shots at him. So really somebody needed to be over there for the purples. I already took one shot on this guy, and he's really kind of staring. He's in a bad way here, because I'm just going to come over here and go, thank you. Notice I just barely come out enough to where that hatch is vulnerable to my shot. I try not to expose any more of my tank than I just did. The M2Y is actually doing me a bit of a solid, because he's sort of soaking up shots. People are shooting at him and not me, and allowing me to poke out there and really just kind of punish this 56. So he's starting to figure this out. And there he goes. He's like, oh my gosh, don't do that to me. Don't do it to me. And I take a rush shot. That's unfortunate. Caliban's working on the IS-3. All right, so now I've got a bit more complicated situation. I've got the IS-3 there. I can't just come out and try to take shots on the T-56 because I'll come too far forward. Now I've got to try to start trying to shoot the IS-3. Or if he fires, then that gives me an opportunity of, what, 8 to 10 seconds while he reloads to maybe come in here and get a shot on Mr. T-56. Now, he does not want to get shot in the hatch anymore. That's all right, though, because we're nice and close, so even though he's moving around, I can just kind of centroid it and fire as he's moving around. So I know he's bummed right now. I would be, too. I've been farmed like this in the same position with a Skoda. You think you're a top tier and you're going to do some big work, and then somebody comes in here and just hatchifies you. The IS-3 is going to be a more difficult animal in terms of the hatch. M2Y just pokes around and takes a hit. So we're at 2,253, and we created a bit of an advantage in terms of tanks. It's nice to get the T-56 out, but we're still down in total number of tanks. I suppose we could say it's an advantage in types of tanks. They're sort of wrapping around behind us, but I'm watching it. It's just an M4A3E2. So, and the Tiger P shows up. Okay. So I'm glad I did turn around. We'll go handle these guys. There's enough of these sitting up here that I figure the IS-3 is not going to just rage around the corner and kill me. And for the moment, the 832 is kind of out of the fight. So unless the 832 is coming around the corner, and I actually think he turns out to be doing so, I don't remember, we should be able to come over here with the Renegade and myself and just kill these guys off. So there we go. We hit him. Put one into the Tiger P. He gets a shot on me. That's all right. We'll push on in here, get a bit of an angle on this guy, and even though I'm giving him side armor, that was kind of dumb. Really what I should have done there was continue to push into the HMC, use him for armor, and try to get a shot where I didn't eat another shot into the side. At the time, I thought I was going to out-reload him, but clearly not. Now we'll push in. So we've got a full hit point, more or less. Indeed, full hit point 832. I was going to boil around that corner. The reason I didn't go around that corner right there is they have beat us up here in the little village. And I didn't want to find a couple guys sitting here shooting me in the side, especially if they move up to here, slightly left, and start getting a crossfire between the 832 and them, then you're just really hurting. You're hating life in the middle of this road right here. So I kind of back out, and then I notice that the Caliban just wants to push in. And I'm thinking, well, he'll find out. Let him find out what's going on. A little bit worried that all these little light tanks and stuff are pushing in, so I'm going to come this way and see if we can't find some of these dudes. Yep, there's one of them right there. Okay. I'll keep pushing. I kind of figured I'd get shot in the side by one of his buddies, so that didn't happen. He's coming on in this way, and oh wow, we found this guy. All right, so we'll light him on fire. Lucky, but I'll take it. One shot that guy, basically. We're up to 3,000 damage. Skoda T25 is not particularly dangerous to this tank, but it can hurt if he puts 3 shots into me. And its reload is significantly fast enough, and he actually sneaks one on me right there. That was a bummer. It's actually fat, and this was nice by him, actually. He got away from me. That surprised me a bit. He may actually reload before I get another 2 shots to kill him in here. Nope, not quite. So we take him down 3,714. Kill a couple of the guys that were going to cause us problems. That did leave my team out to dry a little bit, and then I find the Su-100, who luckily does not drop 400 on me. He actually bounces that shot off my tracks. So I'll take it. We'll leave him be. I know he's slow. Kind of worried about where the T25 AT is, because I really want to get in here with my buddies and gang tackle the 832. We're kind of low on hit points. This guy gets nuked by the Caliban, so no factor. Now I'm not worried about the T832. That is the kind of thing that a tank like the Caliban can do for you. It was kind of looking like a bit of a problem. If the 832 was in a good spot, could go hold down and had some time, he could easily start picking us apart. Caliban showed up behind him with that massive damage in the autoloader and just deletes him off the map. Alright, so we're capping. I'm wondering if somebody's sitting over here. Where is the Su-100Y? I kind of expected him to be driving down the road, pushing in, but he doesn't. Haven't seen the T-25 AT for a long time. Putting cap pressure on him. We're in really good shape. I wasn't really sure if anyone would show up, but good on him. The T-25 AT decides to come in there and give it an effort, so we'll push in. I figure, well, he's probably going to kill my poor Tiger P if that guy's not very smart. So let's just come over here and get a free... No, nothing. He gets 353 on me. That's quite the hit, actually, from that guy. Probably could have side-scraped here. I'm going to eat another shot. We'll just take that. Boom. He bounces. That'll work. Dude's trying to back out. Probably out-reload me. Nope, doesn't matter. 34-1 kills him. And there we are. 5 kills for the Caliban, 4 for me. The 100Y, I don't know if he shows up, to be honest. I don't remember. Let's see. Maybe. Oh, he does show up, I believe. I believe he does show up. I'm watching the Caliban, and I'm thinking, right before I saw the 100Y, I'm watching the Caliban push in. I'm thinking, well, he's probably not up there then. Maybe he has pushed in. Turns out he did. Also good on him for giving a shot. Panzerknacker 99. We'll thump him once. We'll back out. Wait for the reload. No sense just let him have a free shot here. This is one way you can work over casemates. They have trouble with situations like this because you can get in here and get a piece of them just like that. He can't even get his gun on me. He makes a push to try to get at least one shot while I'm on a reload and gets killed by the 34-1. By D-Griff sneaking around in the back. So nicely done by the top 3 there in kills. We got 5 for the Caliban, 4 for me, and 3 for D-Griff. Doing some opportunistic killing along the way. And we end up with 4,688 damage, 1,210 bounce, and only 143 assists, and a win on an encounter. Top tier. So this tank, I like it quite a bit. I'm closing in on the 100 battles with it for the 100 battle challenge. I do like it. I'm only running about 50% with it. A bit surprised because it's DPM or DPG, and the rest of its numbers are every bit as good as a lot of tanks. I'm at 55 to 60% with it, and I can't really put my finger on it. It's not really terrible in terms of stats. It does okay in the game for a tech tree tier 8 heavy tank, but for me, I just haven't really been able to get that, push it up to that 55% win rate. So maybe towards the last, 15, 20 battles, I'll be able to sneak that in there and somehow crank that up. But right now it's running at a solid 50, 51% win rate for me. But I still like it. I still think it's a solid all around. It's a little bit like a Tiger II, except that its gun isn't quite as comfortable and accurate. And I would say its armor, while boxy, isn't quite as straightforward as a Tiger II is in terms of side scraping. There's more angles and things going on, and maybe this thing's turret's not quite as good. So it's almost like a budget Tiger II to some extent in terms of gameplay. All right, that's all I've got, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Let me know what you think down below. Anybody love or hate it? I also want to know, anyone running the 2-shot autoloader on this, and why do you think it's better? That's all I've got. We will see you.